Hi, I'm Astrologer Penny Dix. Welcome to my in-depth look at the forthcoming, long-awaited conjunction between my two big outer boys, Jupiter, the planet of expansion, abundance, opportunity, spiritual growth, and Uranus, our other very, very rebellious, unpredictable, independent, innovative, disruptive planet. Yes, Jupiter and Uranus are finally conjunct at 21 degrees and 49 minutes. And they are in the sign of Taurus. Now, Taurus, of course, is an earth sign and fixed energy. So, first of all, we have to think about this. And by the way, after I've done this brief overview of the conjunction, which we really do need to understand because of the immensity of what it could bring into our lives collectively and on an individual level, I will, of course, do your individual zodiac signs, and they will all be time stamped by the inimitable Jerry, and they will also, or rather, remember to listen to not just your sun sign, but also your rising sign. So let's have a think about this energy. We have these two major energies coming together in the sky. Now remember, from our perspective on Earth, it just looks like Jupiter and Uranus are touching or even overlapping. But of course, in reality, that's just the perspective from planet Earth. And because sometimes I'm asked, what does it mean when a planet's conjunct? Well, it just means that they're very close together. They're up close and personal. And it can literally have up close and personal kind of energy with it. But what does this one mean? Because first of all, it's on the 20th, 21st of April, that's 2024. So, as I said, I tell you what we'll do first. We will bring up the chart because I think the event chart will help you get a sense of what this is all about. So, just like magic, Jerry will make the chart appear above my left shoulder or on top of my left hand or something close to or similar. Anyway, thank you, Jerry. So if you look at this chart, interestingly, the four quadrants, so that's the kind of cross between the middle, they're all fixed energy. Now, how does combustible conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus cope with this fixed energy in a conjunction? Because first of all, let's look at their location. They're in the third house of the event chart. Now, I do this on universal time, okay, based in London because it's kind of, as the title says, it's universal time. So we're all in different time zones. I'm in Central European time. Some people are in Eastern time. Some are in Pacific time. So it will happen correspondingly to where you are living. So for us here in Europe, it's actually happening in the early hours of the morning. So just look at that lower first quadrant. In the first house, you've got Saturn. The ascendant is Aquarius, fixed, but of course Uranus rules Aquarius. So the ruler of the ascendant Uranus, is part of this conjunction of Uranus and Jupiter. Now, Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so then we look to see, where is Sagittarius? Well, Sagittarius is up there on the cusp of the 11th house. And my feeling is that, in a sense, Uranus has become the dominating influence of these two planets. Let me explain why. Now, we're in Taurus. Taurus, earth, fixed, rock, solid, just doesn't budge. Jupiter rules Sagittarius, which is mutable and moves. It has flexibility. Uranus actually rules Aquarius, which is fixed, rigid, doesn't budge. But Aquarius is air. So Uranus can expand its energy into the airy kind of consciousness, heights and higher frequencies that Aquarius can represent. So the sun is also in Taurus, and the sun is actually in a square to Pluto, our planet of transformation. And where is Pluto? In the 12th house in Aquarius. It's restricted in there. It's hidden. So all of this energy, I'm piling it up in my brain, and I'm thinking, this is a very combustible energy. This energy could mean almost anything could happen. And I'm thinking more collectively on the world stage rather than on an individual level. On an individual level, you have to dilute down what I'm saying to a kind of personal level, and it will be determined by the area of your life that this conjunction falls into, and also whether it touches any personal points or planets in your chart. And if you do know the degrees of your chart, and I know now I lose some of you because you go, oh, I don't know what degree my sun or my moon is. I know. And, also remember, if you do want to know what your rising sign is, we do have a calculator on the website. And you just put your information in and it says, oh, you are Leo rising or whatever. I just tried it out, in fact, before I started recording to make sure it's all working. And it told me I was a Leo ascendant, and I've known that for years. So it must be working. So we've got Jupiter and Uranus in the 3rd house. Remember, the 3rd house is about communication. This, though, is in the lower half of the chart. Scorpio is on the midheaven at the top. This is like hidden things, secrets and lies, mystery, digging down into the very murky depths of what might be going on the planet. I think there will be several episodes of shocking events that come out around this time. Just to go back to where I got kind of lost, and I was talking about whether it's at a personal point in your chart. If you do know the degree of one of your personal planets, that would be the sun, the moon, Mercury, Mars and Venus. But namely, the sun and the moon will be the ones that are mostly affected by this energy. The degree of this transit is 21 degrees and 49 minutes. Now, just to give you an example, my natal sun in Taurus is at 24 degrees and minutes. I can't remember how many minutes it is. I ought to know, shouldn't I? Anyway, it's at 24 degrees. So 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm 3 degrees away from this conjunction. And I think you can go 3 degrees either way. And that is the kind of orb, as us astrologers say, the orb, that you can work with. The parameters is what that means of whether it's going to affect you. Now, I have it in my 10th house. The 10th house, of course, is career, because I'm a Leo ascendant. So if you're a Leo rising or a Leo sun, you can listen to what I'm talking about here, because even if you've got no personal planets in your 10th house, then this, you know, will affect you to a certain degree. So it's going to affect me with regards to what I'm doing for a living. So what I'm passionate about. So that's to do with the astrology. Now, I'm recording this, I'm pre-recording this on the 18th of March. And this is like a week before I go in for my back surgery. So, of course, I have no idea what will be going on for me by the time this transit happens on the 21st of April. So if you've got a point in that 10th house, you can be mindful of the fact that things may happen to do with your career which are shocking, surprising, exciting, positive. It feels positive, but it feels like it blows apart everything that you've almost already set in place. Almost like you go back to the drawing board and you think, oh, wow, now I have a really new and better idea of how I want to go forward with this particular job, project, career, idea, etc. So for me, what's going to happen, of course, is I'm going to be a bit frustrated because I've got all this energy going on in my 10th house and I'm being slowed down by Saturn conjunct my moon in Pisces in the 8th house saying, sorry, but we need to slow you down. We need to have you sitting still or lying flat to heal your back. So there's going to be this kind of tension and frustration between my sun and my moon, which is just an interesting aside so that you can just get a sense and a feeling of how astrology can work. So we can get these wonderful transits, but we can't necessarily do anything with them or work with them. Though I must say I will do my best to try and make the most of this transit in whatever way I can. So let's come back to the actual transits in the event chart up there. And because this conjunction is in the 3rd house of communication, this is about shocking news coming to light. This is about news that really shakes the world. Now, Uranus is involved and Aquarius is the ascendant. This could even be news about intergalactic stuff. We may find that we have found forms of life on one of Jupiter's moons, for example. I don't know if any, of the sort of probes are out that way, but that is the kind of thing that could come out of this kind of energy. And certainly with all the journeys that are being planned to the moon again, that could be that we could get some news coming out around this time in connection with this kind of moon energy. Now, what is the moon doing in this chart? Well, the moon, in fact, is not making any particular aspect. It's actually trining Pluto. So it's talking about transformation. And other than that, it's not really making its opposite Mars in Pisces. So there's a kind of tension there. But Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus are sextiling Mars also. So you've got this sextile and then this trine from Pluto to the moon. So the moon as a solid object is in Virgo, and it's at the anaretic degree, which means it's right at the end of Virgo. Now, I do think this is in some ways significant. One could actually say, because it's conjunct the part of fortune, which is an Arabic part, and it brings good fortune and beneficial things. So it picks up that Jupiter energy, and that part of fortune is actually trining the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. So there could be breakthroughs in technology or anything to do with the cosmos at large. I do feel that is a strong possibility. But I also think that these breakthroughs have already happened, and that this is part of what is now actually being revealed because of that Scorpio on the midheaven and secrets. But there is also something here about the secrets revealed about the economy or about banking or anything of that nature, cryptocurrencies, technology. We could see shocking or informative news that comes out, breakthrough news that really makes us kind of stop and think about how the economy is really going to progress forward. So, but how is it going to affect the planet? Let's think from, say, a political standpoint, because we're in April and we don't know what is going to happen with certain parts of the world. How is this going to affect, for instance, the Middle East? We could see some kind of breakthrough. We could see some kind of particular communication that at last, finally, we get a breakthrough. Because Uranus also is about freedom. It's about being unconventional. I've got a cat hair, I think, on my nose. So, it's about breakthrough and freedom and change and the unexpected twists and turns in life. So it could be we see finally a breakthrough with the situation that is existing in the Middle East, if it hasn't already unfolded around the April new moon total solar eclipse. But that could have been the precursor, remember, to what's now happening in Taurus. So there's a lot of energy here, which is going to be very interesting to see how it kind of finally unfolds. There's something also that we have to bear in mind with this Jupiter-Uranus energy, which is on an Earth level, we could, and I know I've said this before, see more volcanic or earthquake activity because it's in an Earth sign, and Taurus, of all the Earth signs, is the fixed, rigid, feet on the earth. We do not want the earth to move or to shake. But Jupiter and Uranus's combination could really shake things up. And so that is the potential of what we might see. So what else do we make of this particular chart? The moon in Virgo, as I said, is trining the Jupiter-Uranus. So somehow the moon is holding the energy together in a positive way. But we've got Earth, we've got lots of Earth. We've got Saturn and Mars in Pisces still. Venus is now in Aries, and Mercury, of course, is still retrograde until the 25th. Now, let's just look at that Mercury retrograde for a minute, because I think that's quite significant with this particular conjunction. Because the Jupiter-Uranus, if you think about what I was talking about, secrets being revealed, news coming out that is shocking, surprising, and certainly engaging. It's certainly going to have us going, well, I didn't see that coming. And Mercury retrograde, it's like Mercury's taking its time as it rolls back through the sign of Aries, thinking about how it's going to proceed when it finally starts to move forward again. In fact, Mercury and Venus are more or less conjunct. Venus has just gone beyond Mercury. So there's something here as well about finance and economy. So I do feel that we could see a real wobble in stock markets or the financial markets around this date because of news that gets revealed. And Saturn is no longer in a position to slow things down. Saturn is trailing behind in Pisces, and Mars is steaming ahead towards a conjunction with Neptune, which will dilute some of Mars's energy, but fire up potential paranoia, fear, and worry. So as you can see, this chart is actually quite action-packed and quite important. So let's go on to your individual zodiac signs and see where this transit, this conjunction, which part of your life it is going to have an effect on. So at this point, the lovely Jerry will make the chart magically disappear. There we go. And it's gone. And now I will move on to your individual signs. So let's start with Aries. Aries, for you, it is in your second house. And this, of course, is your material possessions. This is how you manage your finances. What you do for a living to bring stability into your life. But it can also be how you value yourself. This is Jupiter and Uranus. There's going to be big shifts, changes, shocks in your kind of financial situation. This doesn't have to be bad. This could be good. This could be an unexpected kind of breakthrough with something. This could be an unexpected boost to your income, because whilst you've got Jupiter in this part of your chart, it will certainly have been doing its best to bring some more sort of money into your kind of personal piggy bank. And so also I think there's a sense with this energy of you going, enough is enough. I am fed up with being an underdog or at the beck and call of someone. Let's just say someone. This is where, Aries, you really truly start to say, I'm worth more than this. I am worth more than maybe what this company or job are expecting of me. Maybe what this friend, partner, group, club are trying to get out of me. This, Aries, is you standing up and saying, I am worth it. I am worth a lot more than I feel I am being given back to. So actually, Aries, this is a really, really important conjunction for you, especially if you have a particular point in this part of the chart. So supposing your moon is in Taurus, then, and if it is close to 21 degrees, it's really going to have a big effect on you. But don't worry, even if you have no personal planets in this part of your chart, it is going to have an effect on you. And now we move on to, of course, Taurus, because Taurus, gosh, I mean, this is the sign for you. This is the energy at the moment that just keeps on giving. Uranus, Jupiter. Now the sun has come into your sign to help you celebrate your birthday. And so you know, Taurus, if you're Sun Taurus, at some point, both Jupiter and Uranus have crossed your sun, or maybe conjunct your sun now, or a few degrees away from it. If it is conjunct your sun, depending on the rising sign that you have, so remember, this is for Taurus sun and Taurus rising. But if you're a Taurus sun, you might well have a different rising sign. So depending where that is, will determine the part of your life that is most going to be affected. But because it's in the first house, which is all about who you are, how you show yourself to the world, how we all experience you. I think, you know, you're quite fixed, and you either blow a fuse because people have been spending a lot of time trying to hem you in or control you or tell you what to do. And you just blow a fuse and say, enough is enough. I can do this. Let me do this on my own. Or you just have an absolute personal, innovative breakthrough and see the world and your future in a new and exciting and innovative way. And that you really see the way forward to positive and exciting change. It's that good, Taurus. Right, let's move on to Gemini. Gemini, it's in your 12th house. So remember, this is for Sun Gemini or rising sign Gemini. So the 12th house is where we can feel a little bit restricted or imprisoned, but it's also our intuition and our psychic abilities. And I tend to think of it as representing our psyche and soul. You're going to have a big breakthrough, Gemini. You are being kind of brought out, given birth to, out of your kind of cerebral way of thinking. And I think you will be having a huge spiritual awakening, a huge kind of spiritual, oh my God, I really see it now. And this may be partly due to news that comes out in the news in general, so that you begin to realize that, oh my God, it's true that, you know, we can, the intention experiments do make a difference, do work, do help, that distant healing has an effect, that if we all intend a bigger and better world, we can bring about the changes that we need to make. That if we all intend that, we can intend this Jupiter-Uranus energy to bring about the most amazing spiritual breakthrough for humanity, so that we can all kind of raise our frequency and consciousness to a higher state. So, you know, Gemini, even though you might feel a bit restricted in that 12th house, this is going to help you break through. Let's move on to Cancer. Cancer, it's in your 11th house of hopes and wishes. It's also connecting with the wider community. So it's also, in a sense, the house that Uranus rules. Because Uranus rules Aquarius, and if we have Aries as house 1, then the 11th house is Aquarius. So even though in your chart it's Taurus, you have this kind of overlapping of it also having a sort of like a transparency, like a negative, you know, photo of Aquarius there. So Uranus actually rules this part of your chart, and Uranus-Jupiter conjunction here, you're going to really break through with something that has been a long-held dream of yours. There are possibilities that you can start to manifest and create the life that you've always seen as somehow just out of reach and over there. You can have it, intend it, attract it to you. Remember what Tesla says. Tesla says you have to match the frequency of the intention that you want to manifest. So make sure that your frequency is of the same frequency of what you wish to bring into your life. It just takes a little bit of mind kind of control and mind work, mind bending almost, working with the frequencies, being disciplined with your mind so that you do not allow negative, lazy, distorted thoughts to bleed through and prevent you manifesting what you wish to bring into your life. Try and remember that, Cancer, because that will help you greatly. Now we move on to Leo. And of course, Leo, for you, as I was talking about earlier, this is your 10th house. This is your career, what you're passionate about. It's your soul path. It's where you become more public. So Leo, of course, you do like to be center stage. So some Leos, whether you're Leo rising or Leo sun, will find themselves much more out there in the limelight. And it may be that it's just that you put yourself out there, and whereas there's always been like dead ends or rejections, or it just doesn't seem to happen for whatever reason, suddenly unexpected breakthroughs. And you think, wow, how did that happen? That's just like magic. And that's the thing with this conjunction. It's almost like magic. It is the most intense energy of excitement, of joy, of serendipity, of freedom, of breaking through boundaries. So we must all use this energy in this way because, I just can't begin to explain how powerful the energy is of Jupiter conjunct Uranus. We just have to hope that we're not in a part of the world that is literally going to get shaken up, either by challenging news in whatever country we're in, or in the fact that the earth literally shakes beneath our feet. So let's hope that that isn't a manifestation of the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. Let's move on to Virgo. Virgo, it's your 9th house. Now this, of course, interestingly, is ruled by Jupiter, because in the zodiac, Sagittarius rules the 9th house, and so it means that Jupiter rules the 9th house. So we have this kind of bleed through of that Jupiter energy for you, Virgo, into this 9th house. So not only have you got Uranus and Jupiter conjunct in this part of your chart, but they are enabling you to break through with maybe some studies you've been involved in, that you suddenly, something clicks and you just get it. You break through something you've been working on, maybe for some time. And, you know, Virgos tend to sometimes get caught up in the detail. And this is really inviting you, encouraging you to move beyond the detail and really see the bigger picture. This is encouraging you to trust that you can reach these heady heights of spiritual enlightenment if you just allow yourself to open up, relax, breathe, and just say, okay, bring it on, give it to me. Let me experience this energy in a really innovative, freedom-loving way, because you may come out with things. You might find yourself communicating in ways that you've never dared say before, so that people may be a little bit surprised by your kind of boldness and knowledge about subjects that you may have actually kept hidden rather under your belt, but you're ready to break out now and break through. Now let's move on to Libra. So for you, Libra, this is your 8th house. This is joint finance. It's where we have kind of things about investments, pensions. It's also hidden secrets. It can be shadow work and transformation. So Libra, it's a conjunction between Jupiter and Uranus. This could be a very positive breakthrough for your financial status. That is one benevolent and beneficial positive outcome of this energy. Something you really didn't expect can break through with this energy. The other part of this is that hidden secrets about, about things that obviously that you'd rather be kept hidden. Secrets come to light and expose a little bit of a side of you, Libra, that perhaps you'd rather wasn't public, wasn't seen. But what you have to trust is that this energy, this push from Jupiter and Uranus is pushing you to transform. So you don't have to be standing there vulnerable like the emperor wearing his suit of clothes that actually he's naked. You don't have to be standing there naked. You can actually be okay with this and just say, wow, I'm seeing things in a new light. And it's okay to say that and to change. It's about letting go of old ways of being. It's about actually fully embracing your future and seeing that beginnings can come from what can seem like difficult endings. There may be some energies or situations that you've had to let go of, and this will make way for the new in a way that you couldn't possibly have anticipated. So let's now move on to Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio, 7th house of relationships. Significant relationships at that. Significant business partnerships. Scorpio, what's going on for you? Well, I think you've been, you know, in the sidelines a bit, in the wings, waiting for something to happen. Well, you know, Scorpio, if you want something to happen, you have to go out there, meet people to make something happen. Maybe you don't want anything in particular to happen in your personal relationships. But, you know, for some people, this could see a really, really unexpected, superb change, something long awaited, like you know, a relationship really finally being committed. And not committed sounds like being committed to a mental home. I don't mean that at all. What I mean is a committed relationship can come out of this energy. It can also be that something or someone unexpected suddenly comes into your life and blows your mind, you know, takes your breath away, that you really think, whoa, I didn't see that happening. Equally, it can be a dramatic ending that you just go, whoa, I didn't see that happening or that coming. So there's many ways this could play out, Scorpio, but it is to do with relationships. Let's move on to Sagittarius, because Sagittarius, this is to do with your daily routine. It can be service to others, your health, and it can be pets. So let's unpack this. Sagittarius, Jupiter is your ruling planet. So you're already blessed by this being your ruling planet and giving you a little bit of buoyancy and help with this extraordinarily kind of vibrant energy. And I think your daily routine is going to go through sudden and unexpected disruption and change. This could be due to the work you do. This could be due to health situations. I mean, I think you have to be mindful of anything that comes up with regard to your health with this kind of energy, whilst Jupiter and Uranus transit this part of your chart, because it can bring up sudden unexpected problems to do with some part of your body that is difficult. So just be mindful of that. And it can also be that you feel a little bit off balance. So it could also be that your psychological state gets a little bit overwrought, overrun, overwhelmed by the amount of things that are happening in your life, which are not, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're just extraordinary. That there are some extraordinary things happening in everybody's lives with this energy. And you can just get a little bit overwhelmed and need time out. Just like, whoa, slow down. Let me take a step backwards with this energy. So then we move on to Capricorn. So Capricorn, 5th house of fun. So this is fun, entertainment, love affairs, creativity, the arts, and children. If, Capricorn, you're looking to start a family, it will start unexpectedly and you'll think, whoa, I didn't see that coming. So if you don't want to start a family or have any more kids, make sure you're doing something about it, because this is real sudden unexpected energy that can stimulate that kind of happening. Remember, Jupiter is about expansion. This can be expansion of the belly. Now, it's also about entertainment. So Capricorn, I often say this, you've been through a tough time with Pluto in your sign for nearly 18 years or so. And it's kind of put you through the ringer. You have had to go through so many changes and transformations that you just think, oh, no more. Enough is enough. Can I just relax and kind of, walk on a lovely golden sandy beach and to wiggle my toes in the sand with the sea and all of that. So I think it's about having a little bit of unexpected fun can come into your life. And also you may find you have an unexpected love affair. Now, affairs, or by the very nature of the word, tend to indicate they can be short-lived. And it may just be that something happens that is just what you needed. Just as they say what the doctor ordered. A sudden, unexpected love affair that really kind of rocks your soul and you think, do you know what? It's okay to have my Shirley Valentine moment, to be sitting on the beach with my table and my glass of wine, looking out to sea and reminiscing on what has been, what could be, and what is yet to come. And so there is it is lovely energy in this part of the chart. Also, if you are of a creative bent, you may be feeling with this energy incredibly creative and like, doing something a little bit out of the ordinary and exploring or, trying different different forms of art, trying finger painting or anything, sand painting, anything that could sort of just do something that gets your mind into a different place, because now your energy is clear of Saturn, Jupiter, Pluto. It's like your Capricorn status just wants some peace and calm for a little bit. So let's move on to Aquarius, because for you, it's the 4th house of home and family. Now, Aquarius, things are a little bit kind of, because, Pluto's moved into your sign. It's turning things a little bit upside down. And here we have Jupiter and Uranus. Uranus, your ruling planet. So that is helpful. Just kind of shaking things up a bit at home. It could be quite simply that you decide to throw a great big party to celebrate just life and being alive. There's something very joyous about this energy. It may be that one of your family, a parent or sibling, has reached a milestone point and you think, I'm going to throw a surprise party for them. There's something of that nature about it. But also it could just be that you actually get a little bit of rest and respite from what has been quite challenging energy when you had Saturn going through your sign, slowing you down, making you look at the sort of the details of everything, kind of dragging you into serious parts of your life that were just too heavy and kind of difficult. And so I do feel that the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction for you in Taurus brings a little bit of excitement and luxury and fun into your life. That has to be a good thing. Finally, we come on to Pisces, my oceans of emotions. Well, Pisces, where is this affecting you? It's in your 3rd house of communication. So this is also the local community. It's about transport. It's about writing, getting information together, writing that book. It's Jupiter and Uranus, and it's Taurus. And you are Pisces. Let's think about this, because you've got Saturn in your sign really asking you to slow down. And here's Jupiter and Uranus in the fixed sign of Taurus, stirring things up. And I think, Pisces, really what this is saying is it is time for you to actually do a lot of communicating what you feel on an inner level, saying things perhaps that need to be said, that you've been holding back on, that are going to shock a few people, but enough is enough. It feels as if you've been everybody's kind of, I want to say fall guy or servant, but I don't really mean it like that. It's like you've been there for everybody. You've been there for everybody to rest their shoulder on, to, you know, you've been listening. This is about you, Pisces. What about you? Who really listens to you, Pisces? Because I think you need that kind of comfort. And I think you need it from people that you're close to, who perhaps have been so self-absorbed in their own things. And that's fine. That happens. Life is what life is. But that you just feel, what about me? Who has my back? Who is on team Pisces? Who is truly there for me? So it sounds a little bit somber to end on that note, because I think the Uranus-Jupiter conjunction for you, Pisces, can be a tremendously wonderful spiritual breakthrough where you are able to really connect and communicate. And I think the spiritual downloads you will be receiving with this energy are being or will be profound and will really, really be absolutely amazing. And there's a book in there, Pisces, for you to write down. So don't forget that. So on that note, that's the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on the 20th, 21st of April, depending what part of the planet you're on. On the 21st, it's in the early hours of the morning in Central European time and in Universal time. So listen, guys, thanks so much for all your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to all my videos, all your wonderful comments, for liking, subscribing. Where would I be without you? Hopefully, when you see this, I will be up on the road to recovery, and I will have been putting out 1 or 2 little short videos with updates of my progress. And I hope that the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction will be, the energy I will be in a state to enjoy it and make the most of it in my 10th house of career and what I'm passionate about. So let's hope that's how that works out for me. So anyway, on that note, thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things that you do. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.